Hello and welcome to another episode of the Nonsense Review. I am your host, as always, Devon, and equally as always, joining me today is Rick.
Hello, hello, hello.
And today we're going to watch something which I've been chomping at the bit to see for quite a while now. But before we get into that, if you are familiar with the podcast by now, you know that we don't jump straight into things these days. We like to ask each other about our weeks and the goings-on in the world in general. So, to that end, Rick, how's your week been, buddy?
Well, I've been mostly marathoning F is for Family. It's the animated sitcom on Netflix that's headed by Bill Burr, who some of us will know as the most successful Star Wars actor to actively shit on Star Wars since Alec Guinness.
Yeah, but it's a comedy. He's a comedian, so it's a joke. It's not meant to be taken seriously.
So he's the character that he plays is the dad, and the character that he's based on in the show is the middle child. Yeah, it's kind of based around his experiences in the 70s, because the show's set in the 70s. Growing up, how his family treated him, the trials and tribulations, and all that.
Man, I just remember a joke of Bill Burr's, because it happens to involve his dad. It's less of a joke and more of just an anecdote. Hey, if you don't like your wife, you don't get divorced. You just fucking you just power on through, and you take out your anger in the least helpful of manners. And in his dad's case, it was he'd build furniture and just shout at the furniture, and then shout at his wife who's in the other room, and then keep doing the furniture, and at the end of the day, everything was fine. Which, super not healthy. Do not do this.
I know, right?
But as a story, it's quite funny.
I was going to say, that's something that our generation just has completely killed. Like, the I hate my wife joke has just completely gone out the window in this generation because, we don't hate the people that we get married to these days.
Yeah, but it's also one of those things where it's there's different societal expectations, because back even a generation ago, like boomers and whatnot, if you weren't married by like 20 and had a house, then you were a failure.
Yeah. And if you got someone pregnant, then you're expected to settle down.
But yes, anything else, my dude?
The other thing is E3 happened. A few things got revealed at E3. We got Elden Ring, which everyone in our circle of nerds have been chomping at the bit to find out more about. We've got what was it, Starfield or something, the Skyrim in space that's been given a release date of the 11th of the 11th 2022, which is 11 years after Skyrim came out.
It's been that long since we've had a new Elder Scrolls, Rick.
Yeah.
They just keep re-releasing Skyrim on different consoles. I won't be surprised if it comes out on toasters next month.
I'm sure it's already been on toasters. Like, if there's an Android toaster, it probably runs on that.
Oh, I fucking hate how much Bethesda's milked that fucking game, because it's not even that good.
Like, it's fine. It's a canvas. Like, it's more about what the modders can put into it to make it more fun.
Yeah, but guess what? Every console re-release that comes out takes away tools from the modders, therefore it's pointless.
And the actual one that's the most interesting is the Alexa version of Skyrim, which was originally meant as like an April Fool's joke, and then someone realized, oh, we can actually make this, and like it'll actually be inclusive for like blind people and things like that. So they actually made it as a voice-based adventure game.
Okay, but like the way you worded that, Bethesda didn't do that shit, did they?
No, but they had a finger in the pie.
Nah, fuck them. Bethesda has done absolutely fuck all with Elder Scrolls for 10 plus years.
Because the only other thing Elder Scrolls to come out is the one by ZeniMax, the Elder Scrolls Online.
Which, by the way, I played that on release with my buddy James, because we both hopped on that fucking hype train. And I warned James beforehand, it's not going to feel like Elder Scrolls. And it's like, it'll be close enough. And it doesn't feel like Elder Scrolls, because it fucking ain't.
Apparently it's gotten better in the years since, but unfortunately, yeah, that includes the years since. And you either had to have been playing during that time and paying for a shit show, or, have skipped out on it for that amount of time to only come in now.
Yeah, it can fucking die in a hellfire. But yeah, go on, move on with other E3 goodies, if you've got any.
But yeah, I made your pee-pee hard, didn't I, with...
Oh, don't say it like that. Why'd you have to put an inflection on your tone?
Pee-pee. But yeah, Marvel Tactics is apparently a game that's coming out.
Did they say what console?
I don't know.
Because I'm dreading the fact... you know what I'm dreading they're going to say is that when we learn new information, it's going to be mobile only.
Yeah.
Which means it will be shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean to shit on mobile games, but usually when big companies target a mobile market, it's the lowest common denominator. They don't put much effort into them. It's just a fact.
Yeah, I'm just here with a rueful look on my face, just nodding along to that awful statement, which is entirely true. So, Marvel Tactics is the marriage of two things that we both feel very fondly about. I think we both talked in the past about things like Disgaea, and we've obviously done Marvel things in the past, because, you know, we did a whole goddamn series of live reactions to Captain Falcon.
I think I said it on the Loki where it's the Loki episode, I should say, where as much as we enjoyed that series, it was not fun having to record live reactions every week on the dot.
Well, it's why we're doing the beginning and the end of Loki rather than every episode.
Which, by the way, the reason we're not talking about that in our weeks is I've watched it, but Rick ain't. Episode 2, that is.
Yeah, I'm waiting for an opportunity to watch it with my folks, and we've not had the opportunity to watch the first episode with my folks yet.
Which reminds me, actually, Rick, could you cover your ears for about 5 seconds? I called it, guys. Be careful if you watch the episode back, Rick, because it will spoil a thing. Yeah, Marvel Tactics might be good. I don't know what that means, whether it means you're going to control the Avengers, or if you're going to be able to create your own squadron of supers, or even if it's like a more base thing where you're Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Probably the most boring thing would be the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but even then, you can make that really interesting by having good Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Like, Jesus Christ, XCOM, my dude.
So it's meant to be an XCOM game, yeah.
If we go by Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the show, they have Ghost Rider in that, so you know.
And if you go by Ghost Rider, the show, they got the Punisher.
Ghost Rider, the show?
I'm stupid. I'm thinking of something else.
You are. I don't know what you're on about.
Yeah, I'm thinking of something else.
It's okay. It happens, bro. I don't know what you got confused with, but...
Yeah, I got confused with the other thing that's on Netflix. Daredevil, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. But Punisher also got his own show, so it kind of falls apart, doesn't it?
Yeah, he did.
We've talked about my disappointment with that show.
Even then, didn't you say he was actually a more of an effective character when he wasn't in every episode?
Yeah, do you know what's really fucking cool is when Punisher just shows up and the hero goes, oh shit, now I have 2 problems because I don't want everyone to die. One of the best scenes in Daredevil Season 2 is just Frank and Murdoch having a fucking conversation.
Yeah.
I like action as much as the next man, but when your show is based solely on the action and the dialogue sucks, you can fuck off.
Otherwise, why not just go and watch a fucking firework display?
Well, fucking watch John Wick 700 times. At least that has some dialogue.
Isn't the dialogue basically, you killed my dog, prepare to die?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I mean, there's a really cool scene early on where the main Russian bad guy, or the guy who killed the dog, basically, his dad phones up John Wick and says, you can't do this, John, blah, blah. He goes on a spiel for like a minute, and John Wick doesn't say a word and then puts the phone down, and the other guy in the room says to the Russian guy's dad, what did he say? And he just goes, enough. It's fucking badass.
Yeah.
John Wick 1 got everything right. John Wick 2 was a very quick fucking downfall, but you know, it very quickly devolves into just generic action after the first film.
So I don't even know what the premise of the following films are. Is it like he gets another dog and someone kills the new dog?
In the second film, he because he came out of retirement for the first film, even though it's for personal reasons, some bloke redeems a chip, which means John Wick owes him a favour. So John Wick goes to Italy and kills someone, and then it's like, oh, well, I can't let anyone know that I hired John Wick, so I now have to kill John Wick. So John Wick has to kill a bunch of assassins to not die, and then kills the dude. But he kills the dude in a place where he wasn't allowed to kill the dude because of the secret cult of assassins. So at the end of that film, he goes excommunicado, which means every assassin in the world is going to hunt down John Wick, which is the premise of the third film, which I've not seen. I don't care. Oh, Jesus Christ, take a breath, son. That's my summary of John Wick. Watch John Wick 1, fuck the other 2.
We got a release date for Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yeah, we did!
Yeah, we did. And I'm doing my best not to say anything else about that game because you want to be as unspoiled as possible.
Yeah! And about 5 minutes after you sent me the release date, I got a message from another friend showing the main character in their demon form. So that's fucking cool! You know who you are, Matt. I'm playing it up for effect. I'm not actually that salty. It's one of those things where if I can stay as blind as possible, that would be great, but I don't care if things get shown to me. Do you know what I mean?
So here's the thing. I was watching an excerpt of the presentation, and I saw so little of it that I just assumed that they were being a bit of a slowpoke about the re-release of SMT3 and showing some SMT3. Yeah, I thought they were just showing some SMT3 HD footage. I'm like, okay, cool. Didn't that come out like a month and a half ago? And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna click away from this. But yeah, that's also. I'm also trying to remain unspoiled, but I know for a fact that as soon as I see an article, I'm going to click it.
It's one of those weird things where there seems to be a divide between fans when it comes to knowing things before going into games, and usually the two halves of that, the two sides butt heads a lot. It's like, no, you got to be pure, you got to not see shit, and others are like, nah, fucking learn everything you can before you play the game. Fuck you. It's such a stupid fucking argument. Can you not just bloody... Listen, they don't want to know. You do want to know. There's a very easy way that both of you can coexist.
Unfortunately, Google puts you in the same box with when it comes to the algorithm, so if you have shown interest in something, then you're going to get fed things by Google.
That's why I don't use Google Chrome, I use Firefox, and I'm also permanently on private browsing.
Fair enough. I also have a phone, so whenever I open my browser, it's like, this page of shit that you might be interested in has been curated on your behalf.
You know what, that's fair. I do have Google Chrome on my phone, however, I usually use it to look up bullshit in an MMO I play.
True enough.
Hey, where do I find this specific tree? Because I need its...
Man, speaking of bullshit trees and fruit, the respawn times of fruit trees in PSO2 is awful, and that's part of the many things that have been a shit show of the game that was refreshed, re-released, and completely overhauled last week. And it's better this week, but not good enough for me to recommend it just yet.
Well, here's an interesting fact that I've been keeping hidden from you, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
I downloaded that game. All 96 gigabytes.
Oh boy, powerful.
I played the tutorial. I didn't really like it. I've not uninstalled it yet. I've been told I've got to run through some caves to get to the big city, because, as you said, the tutorial city gets blowed up. And I'll do that at some point and see if the game becomes more fun, because... I'll go be honest with you, despite doing the tutorial, I've not done fuck all. It's one of those weird games, isn't it?
Yeah, man, if you've not even made it out of Space Besaid, then you've not gotten very far at all.
Jesus, the first time I saw the main dude who's clearly fucking dead, but also might not be because Japan, I thought, man, you look like a fucking Jet ripoff.
Yeah. He's a blue Waka Jet. There's even two characters from the old PSO2 that he looks like the bastard child of these two men. When he got revealed in a trailer, I just popped in the chat of this streamer that was doing a live reaction stream of the stream. I just went, "Oh, it's Get 'em Huey," and the streamer just burst out laughing because he looks like the child of Get 'em Heart, the first ever villain of the series, and Huey, one of the heroes, who is voiced by the guy who voices Simon in Gurren Lagann.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, he's a hot-blooded idiot. It's funny.
Anything else?
What else was revealed at E3? There was some Nintendo stuff.
Yes, we already revealed one.
Yeah, we're getting the Breath of the Wild 2, which they're not giving us the actual title of it, because they say that the title will actually give us spoilers for what it actually is.
Well, Ganondorf's Revenge.
Or even, it could be something like Skyward Wild or something, because that'll spoil that it's a Skyward Sword sequel. Or, I don't know, Ganondorf's Mask, which makes it A, Ganondorf, and B, a Majora's Mask sequel.
I mean, dude, the only reason I know who Ganondorf is because he's my main on Smash. I don't give a fuck about fucking Legend of Zelda. I couldn't give less of a shit. And yet, come at me, Nintendo. Fanboys, even, not Nintendo the company, you'll probably win.
Man, the number of times I've played Ganondorf in Smash and gone, I wish he used the sword more. Because he's got the sword. He's got it in the animation, even from his first incarnation. But, they just make him a slow Captain Falcon.
Captain Falcon's already pretty slow.
Well, when he runs, he's pretty quick.
Oh, but so does anyone when they fucking run.
Not Bowser.
Yeah, but Bowser's fat.
Yeah, because he's got his big badonkadonk dumb truck ass.
It's weird, isn't it? Because I play Ganondorf, and if I can't play Ganondorf, I like to play K. Rool. I'm not good as K. Rool, but it's K. Rool, so fuck you.
Final Fantasy got a new demo.
Oh, Jesus Christ, this is the thing the fucking Discord won't shut the fuck up about, innit?
Oh, it's dumb. But at least it's they know it's dumb, so they lean into how dumb it is. They've got a main character who just looks like he's off the street, and 2 additional characters who look like they're off the street, and they're dungeon delving into the Shrine of Chaos to kill Chaos, and all he ever talks about is Chaos. I've got to kill Chaos. It's not even a want, it's not even a desire, it's a primal hunger. I have to kill Chaos. Let's go kill Chaos.
Translation, I'm an edgy boy.
Yeah. Apparently, from what I've heard from Aizawa, the combat system is actually pretty fun. That you've got like a jobs that you switch on the fly, and one of them is a Blue Mage type.
Okay, so you're instantly enjoying it now because you love Blue Mage. Why don't you just marry Blue Mage?
My PP is now hard because Blue Mage is now being done correctly.
Man, this is going to be super obscure, but like, obscure for people listening. You know that item I said was going to break the game of my D&D campaign?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that item is basically going to turn whoever uses it into a Blue Mage.
Oh, that's cute.
If it works. I'm still working out the kinks. It's like mega homebrew because it's bullshit I'm making up on the fly.
Man, I tried that for my game, and it became powerful very quickly. Yeah, be very careful about it.
I mean, it's not going to give stats, so that for one is not going to be a problem. But I already said when I gave it out, by the way, this might break the game, guys. Okay, peace. Moving on from the super obscure bullshit.
Outer Worlds 2.
I'm looking forward to that, because Outer Worlds 1 was great.
I've still not played the first one, so I'm waiting. Well, it has been on sale multiple times, but I'm waiting for it to be on super sale, and for me to get it for really cheap.
Well, now that there's a sequel announced, then that might not be too far in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's sometimes the type of thing where you even get the first one bundled with the second if you buy a special edition or whatever. Halo Infinite is getting free-to-play multiplayer.
Okay, it's Halo, don't care.
Diablo 2 coming out September.
Can I just cut you off? I thought we were just going to discuss the things we gave a shit about and then move on. Because, like, we can write a list if we want to, but, like, we've been talking for 20 minutes about E3.
Sure. But yeah, we've both bought Diablo 2 already, so...
I only bought Diablo 2 so I could play Diablo 3 with you and Chris V, and then I quickly realised that Chris V plays in a way where I can't keep up. That's fine, man. I'm not knocking it. It's just, I take my time to say the fucking least.
Yeah.
I play a Witch Doctor and cast frogs because it's dumb, alright?
I also enjoyed Witch Doctor when I played it. I got an army of gimps that have blow darts, and I become a blow dart artillery. Right, let's draw a line under E3 and move on to how your week has been.
My week has been... Well, I'll be honest with you, most of my week has been encountering depressing story after depressing story, so let's rifle off this as quick as we can. We'll start with a bit of good news. As you well know, Rick, last week, officially a week ago, I got my first dose of the COVID vaccine.
You've now got your 5G reception?
Yeah, fucking conspiracy nuthouses.
Yep.
But yeah, I think I've said this to you at least a couple of times, but most importantly, we played D&D the evening when I got my vaccine, and everyone in the D&D chat said the same fucking thing, and that is, how are you enjoying 5G? And my exact response was, my sister said the exact same thing after I got home with the vaccine, and I still don't fucking get that conspiracy theory in the slightest.
So obviously we get where the conspiracy joke comes from, but also by the same token, it doesn't benefit anyone. Actually, 5G is actually the one that does benefit people because it benefits the entire country's infrastructure by being an infrastructure. Unfortunately, it's also false. So
also, it doesn't help me. My phone still uses 4G, so it can fuck off.
My phone is like a year older than the oldest 5G phones. So even if I got 5G on my SIM card, I wouldn't have it on my phone. And I'm waiting until my phone is completely unusable before I buy a new one.
I'm with you on that, man. Phones are expensive.
I mean, it's getting there. I'm at 69% of the original battery, and it was a battery that got nerfed because the one before it exploded.
By the way, fun fact, guys, Rick's phone being shit has delayed the podcast at least 3 times.
Yeah, it has.
You'd never know it because I'm a professional and I don't let my personal feelings seep into the podcast, but man, I was a bit salty those days.
So if ever you listen to an episode where I sound like I got my tail between my legs, it's probably because I overslept.
Which, it's one of those weird things where if we started the if these problems arised about a month afterwards, it wouldn't be an issue because we're in summer now, it's hot as fuck, people tend to wake up early. It's one of those weird things where I don't have any curtains on my bedroom window, which means I actually get woken up when the sun comes out, which means in the winter I sleep super fucking late like an animal, and in the summer I'm awake at fucking 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it's one of these silly ones where, like, because of things, I've been awake from like 4 till 8, and I finally got to sleep again, and then my alarm went off, and I'm like, okay, time to work.
It's one of those things where I don't message you when I'm ready for the podcast unless it's past 11 o'clock. But if you message me before 11 saying I'm awake and I'm present, I'm like, cool, let me lug my shit to the recording zone and we'll get cracking.
Yep.
But yes, other things we've got to talk about the week. Rick, how much do you give a shit about Five Nights at Freddy's?
Not a great deal. However, I have been aware of the recent controversy with Scott Cawthon.
See, I don't even care to remember the fucker's name because guess what? He's a fucker. It's one thing to not like the LGBT community. It's another thing to actively pretend that you're a champion of their cause and then be a complete dick to them.
Yeah, like actively donating to multiple people who openly, actively, and proactively undermine their rights. And it's one, like you say, it's one thing to not be with a certain group, and it's another thing to dance on the fence to try and signal that you're an ally while doing actions to prove that you're obviously not.
It's one of those things where it doesn't affect me on a personal level, because one, I don't care about Five Nights at Freddy's. Two, no, that's about it, really. No, I was going to say something about not caring about the community, but I'm like, actually, no, I do care. They get it. They've got it hard enough. Sorry, not caring, not being part of the community, but that's not the point, is it? It's like you can be not part of the community and still not want them to get fucked over.
Yeah. It's like human rights should be human rights. It doesn't matter whether you have 3 heads or are purple or like.
I draw the line at 3 heads. That's not normal.
All right, fair enough.
You're not. If you've got 3 heads, you are no longer human. You are a weird monstrosity and must be treated as such. In case it's not clear by my tone, I'm fucking joking. Sometimes I realise my joking voice doesn't sound very convincing, so I have to clarify straight after, like, by the way.
Yeah, your joking voice is basically your normal voice.
Yeah, unfortunately, in my brain, it's not. In my brain, I'm acting like a fool. I can't do the Bill Bailey voice, Rick.
I'm acting like a fool.
Yeah, I'm willing to draw a line under that. The guy's a piece of shit. Fuck him. Let's not bring any more attention to him. I feel bad for people who were part of the are part of the LGBT community who enjoyed these games and found something in them, because some people do, because people find things in the weirdest of sources, including a horror game that's relies solely on jump scares.
But yeah, what was your next thing that you were going to talk to us about?
Oh, yes. I've watched a couple more crime documentaries, Rick.
Oh?
Both on Netflix. I won't dwell on them too much. We've got Crime Scene, The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel, which focuses on a young woman who, she died. She got everyone thought she got murdered, including internet sleuths. And then it found out that the actual reality is she suffered from bipolar disorder, and she wasn't taking her medication, and then bad things happened.
Oh, boy.
It was not a very pleasant tale, and, dude, there's so many twists and turns in that. They framed the documentary very well, because the first episode, it's like they frame it as if it was a murder. Second one, still a murder. Third one, doubts creep in. Fourth one, by the way, it wasn't actually a murder. It was just a series of unfortunate accidents and mistakes, and it ended in a very vulnerable person passing away. But on the bright side, I was playing Animal Crossing at the time, so that kind of evened things out.
Did your turnips increase in price while watching someone die?
Dude, I don't fucking bother with turnips. Turnips can fuck off. I can't be arsed playing that game. It's one of those things where if you're doing turnips, it pays to be part of one of those Discords or part of the Reddit community that's like, hey, they're buying turnips for 630 money. I forget what the currency is in that game. I think it might just straight up be called gold.
Bells.
There you go. Bells. Hell's bells and buckets of blood.
Man, I ain't even played Animal Crossing since the very first one, which wasn't even online.
Nah, that was GameCube, wasn't it?
It was a re-release of the one that was on the N64 in Japan.
Ah, fair do. I don't go back that far because I didn't used to have Nintendo home consoles.
It's one of the only games that I needed an import disc for as well, because we didn't get it in the UK for like another 2 years after it was released.
Well, that's what we get for backing the Dreamcast.
Yep. I also had an import disc for the Dreamcast.
Oh, gee, let's not get into that discussion again. Moving on from... basically, if you're watching a documentary about a very grim subject, watch it while playing a game that's calm and relaxing. It balances out. It makes it more tolerable. But it also might have the reverse effect and make you hate Animal Crossing, which is not good.
Last thing you want to do is form a mental link between something that you now used to love and, yeah.
The other crime documentary I watched was Nail Bomber Manhunt. which...
Oh, no.
Rick, you might actually be familiar with the Nail Bomber.
I remember a nail bomber.
In 1999.
Was that the... No, that wasn't... That wouldn't be the Ariana Grande one, would it?
No, this was pre-2000. This was during a time where the BNP was actually proper a threat, and racial groups were a problem. And this white supremacist dude who did not like people who were not white and were not straight went around planting nail bombs in London. Which, let me tell you this, watching a documentary about a series of crimes that happened in your country hits just a little bit different to when you're watching something that happens in the States.
Because normally when things happen in the UK, it's a little bit more differently motivated.
Well, it's not even that, it's police incompetence, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to be like, well, that's in the States, there's a lot of people in the States, there's a lot of policemen in the States of varying levels.
And there's a lot of empty space.
Yeah.
Over an entire state, you might only have so many police because that's all the people that's all the police you need for that many people. But also, you've got so much space to cover over a lot of these big square states. Yeah, they're going to take a while to get anywhere.
But it just drives me nuts because I watched the Yorkshire Ripper documentary when that dropped. And the only reason he got away with it for so long is because our policemen didn't give a fuck about women. They thought women were expendable.
Yeah, they kept changing the narrative of the people that died. That whenever someone died, they'd give a profile on them and then say, oh, and towards the end of their life, she turned to prostitution because they thought that all that the Ripper did was kill prostitutes.
Yeah, it's fucked, man. It's actually fucked. And the thing that bugged me most about that Yorkshire Ripper documentary is at the very final episode, all the fucking detectives getting medals and patting themselves on the back, and it's like, you fuckers are the reason why it went on for so long.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, my dad got stopped by the police multiple times because he had a moustache at the time, which was apparently what the Ripper had. And my folks lived in the area, well, one of the areas in which he was active.
That's actually quite an interesting tidbit.
He no longer has a moustache.
I was gonna say... probably a very similar story can be told by a lot of older northern folk.
Yeah, pretty much.
But still interesting nonetheless. But yeah, this Nail Bomber dude, the first episode was... Well, it wasn't even the first episode, the first 10 minutes, because it was just a single one-off documentary.
Yeah, got all one-shots.
There was a local Bobby, he was black, and he said from the beginning... By the way, this is a racially motivated crime because he planted the bomb in Brixton, and guess what Brixton's fucking always been known for as long as I've been alive? It is a black area. That's not it's just a fact. You'd think that the first thing you'd think is, they planted a bomb in Brixton, maybe we should look into the racial radical groups. Nah, their first thought was IRA, which not unreasonable, I suppose, except for the fact that, hey, guess what? The IRA used to have this nice fun little habit where they'd give you a phone call first.
But then again, like, before 2001, more or less all of the bombings in the UK were IRA.
Yeah, but again, it's like, they didn't tend to be nail bombs, for one. A nail bomb is a horrible fucking device.
Yeah, they tend to be normal bombs.
Its one purpose is to cause as much destruction as possible, so even if you live, you're still going to be fucking permanently damaged.
Yeah.
It's a cruel thing to do, and long story short, the guy got caught, obviously, after but it took 3 bombings, which is fucked. And it was only one dude, and the documentary also focused on this bloke whose name was, his code name was Arthur.
Okay.
They didn't show his face and they disguised his voice. And this motherfucker has been deep cover with Nazi groups in the UK since the 90s. Just pretending to be a Nazi and giving information to the police. And the end of the documentary actually, it tugged at my heartstrings a little bit because the guy who works with the guy says, or rather revealed that until about 2 years ago, this dude, whose, again, codename is Arthur, all of his family didn't know that he was putting it on.
Huh.
His entire family thought he was a skinhead, horrible piece of shit person. That's fucking dedication, man.
Man. The fact that the family stuck with him through that as well.
I mean, they don't say whether he did or not. They might have cut all contact until, he'd had enough and asked someone to, by the way, can you just tell my family I'm not really a piece of shit? But, this guy hates fascism so much that he's dedicated his life to infiltrating it and helping dismantle it. If you can't admire that, what can you admire?
Yeah, that's a fucking power move. That's the kind of thing that you'd write a story about.
Yeah.
And to the point that someone did, based on true events.
Do you know what? It's one of the most innocent answers to the question ever. But the interviewer asked him, why have you done it for so long? And do you know what he said?
Because fuck Nazis.
He said, well, it's like being a spy, isn't it? And it's just such an innocent answer. Like, he made it very clear that he does not like what these people do. But also, I get to be James Bond.
It's actually really cute, but also, yeah, full dedication.
But yeah, well, I'll leave it on that little ray of sunshine in these horrible documentaries I watched. So, Rick, what are we doing today?
Today we are watching episode 1 of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. It's the Netflix version of, well, She-Ra, and it was made before any rumblings of a He-Man reboot were coming. And yeah, shall we just head straight into it?
We can do. Just one little tidbit before we do start. You know the little flags we sometimes have on our videos, Rick?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought I'll get stuff ready in advance. I googled the character we both wanted on our flag because we both agree that she is adorable.
There are a lot of not quite so adorable pictures of her on the internet as well.
Well, that wasn't the problem, but I don't doubt it. The only context I have for this character is you sent me like a 10-minute long video cataloguing this character's romance with another character.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the character's name was Catra. I generally thought her name was Catadora. So that's what I googled. So I got a bunch of it. I was like, wow, there's a lot of fan art of this character with this other character. I know they're kind of a thing, but I wasn't expecting so much of it. And then I got hit with the realization, oh, that's not the character's name, that's the shipping name.
That's kind of adorable.
Oh, jeez. Anyway, yeah. Do you want to do the countdown, Rick?
Sure. So if we're watching it on Netflix, 3, 2, 1, and go.
The good old Netflix logo.
Yeah.
Rating U for violence, injury, detail, and threat.
A Netflix original series.
DreamWorks? Interesting.
Yeah, it was made by DreamWorks Animation Studio. So, like, I think this is the first, like, traditional animation thing they've done since Road to El Dorado.
I'll be honest with you, I forgot they even did that, because my brain was like, DreamWorks is a traditionally 3D company, isn't it?
They are now, because it's cheaper. And it makes them a lot of money, so why wouldn't they?
There's a reason why it's called DreamWorks Fate. I need to turn this the fuck down. It's on half volume and it's bloody blowing out my eardrums.
But yeah, she's a member of the baddies.
Hey, is she?
Yeah.
Ah. Fair do. I find
She's
it
still a nerd.
I find it interesting that she can brush her teeth while doing her fucking boxing training. That's a cool looking lizard dude.
Yeah, he is. That's Rogelio.
Ah.
He doesn't get a name until like season 3.
That's such a D&D name.
The Whispering Woods, yeah. You're heading towards Bright Moon. Bright Moon was the original name of the place that the original She-Ra was in.
Sure. But the sad thing is, I don't have much context for She-Ra, because I was a boy. You play with boy toys, you play with He-Man. Which, how the fuck does that not make you gay? I don't know.
I know, right? Man, have you seen the picture of Fisto?
Yes, because you keep sending it to me.
Yeah.
You sent it to me like 3 times, but with different jokes each time.
Yeah. Hey, I'm sure the last time wasn't actually me. Ah, there we are, Catra. Oh.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Fucking... If only his name was Kevin. It's like, fuck Kevin. Oh, now who fucked up?
I know, right?
Yo, that looked a lot like Peridot's little robot buddy.
It does, actually, now that you say it.
Oh,
So yeah, they've got the augmented reality to make all these death robots look like princesses.
that's a pretty good idea, though. Man, I don't know what it is, but I've got an odd fondness for bow staffs.
Yeah.
I blame Gambit.
There's a there's a kind of what do you call it? Elegance to it. Oh, there we are. Hey, Adora.
Dude, I'm just remembering you sending me that fucking 10-minute long compilation, right? I distinctly remember I was halfway through the video, and I paused it, and I sent you the message that just said, if these two don't fucking kiss by the end of this video, I'm gonna hold you personally responsible.
It's really cute seeing them actually be friends.
I really like how cat-like she is. I get that's the point, but...
Yeah, I love how the whole thing is, she's got all this character development, and that she hates everything, but also has a need to be loved and hugged, and yet also is literally just a cat.
Yeah.
Like, how could you think you're part of the good guys when that's your mentor?
Because teenagers are idiots?
Her name is Shadow Weaver.
Teenagers are idiots. I assume they're teenagers, like late teens.
Yeah, around that, yeah.
One of the highlights, or rather silver linings, of Googling Catadora for like 15 minutes before realising my mistake is it did lead me to finding that adorable image that I sent you of, her name's Adora, right?
Yeah, you got Adora and Catra.
She's arm wrestling Korra from Legend of, Korra.
Yeah.
And it's just Catra, and I don't know the name because I've never watched Avatar. But
Asami, was it?
The obvious firebender. And she's just saying to Catra, should we stop them? And Catra's like, no, give it a minute. Man, she's giving me she's got the grey skin, she's got the long black hair. This is fucking Marceline in another universe.
Kind of. You get to see her without the mask on right at the end of the series, and she's got, like, snake eyes. Yeah. That's a pretty good statement, though. Is this not what you wanted since you were old enough to want anything?
Yeah, that's like 8.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, like, I get it, the statement makes sense, and it's a good way to motivate people. But, at the same time, if your wants have not changed since you were 8, there is a problem.
Yeah.
That looks... This art style is very Steven Universe.
Yeah, it is. Like, I think they call it the California art style.
I mean, I appreciate anything that's got that pop of colour.
Yeah, the whole pastel idea.
Mm.
She has a point.
It's one of those things of it's the old adage of wisdom being like, well, we can't overextend ourselves, but hot-headed commander of what? That's some information that just suddenly got completely derailed my train of thought. She's got a very British accent, ain't she?
Yeah, she does. I think she's the only British one in the show.
She has to be. She's royal.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't work because we know that the kid's royal as well, but you know, proper royal. The type of person who'll get out the shower to have a piss. I love that joke, but it's gross. I've seen a two. We follow a lot of people on Twitter who like this type of show.
Oh, she's purring.
Is she?
Yeah, she was purring just then.
Oh, I want to see her blush. It's her gimmick in combat that she's kind of like a berserker.
She's more of a capoeira type of, like, agility cat.
Damn Tsunderes.
Yep.
It's really bad, because I know what's going to happen with these two characters. All I can think of is, I'll just give her a cuddle, for fuck's sake.
I know, right?
Aww.
Oh, look at the tail.
That's cat body language for leave me alone.
I want to make myself small. I want to exist in this space. I want you not to exist in this space. Fuck off.
Fuck off, is it called that?
Yeah, the Fright Zone, yeah.
Look at that Dark Elder machine!
Yeah. She always pushes her off it, yeah.
Oh, the twin sons of Tatooine. 3 sons of Tatooine. Well, they're gonna crash.
There's it's actually a plot point that there's no stars in the sky.
I didn't even notice, bro. Wait, so that means they weren't suns, they were moons.
I think so.
Well, it has to be, because suns are, by definition, stars.
Yeah, I think they do actually have a star, but like, then you got a bunch of moons, and then like no stars, apart from like the one sun that they have.
Fair do. Man, this is one of the reasons why I like animation, because you can do weird and wonderful shit that you cannot recreate with real life.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's, yeah, like you say, it's a very definite benefit of animating in the traditional style. Because even in 3D animation, you got to do something to bend the physics.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the time, that just means making a deformed model.
Why is this legendary sword of the good guys on the evil side of things?
This is in the forest.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't really know how far is the forest the only thing separating the good faction from the evil faction, or what? I don't get.
So it would seem. I think it is, yeah. So I think you've got basically good faction, then forest, then evil faction, and the forest is like no man's land.
That sounds like Babby's first D&D idea.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the most adorable scream! Oh wait, was that not real then?
No, the sword exists.
No, but I mean, was that instance of the sword not real?
I don't know. I can't remember. I like that though. Are you brain damaged? Don't be brain damaged.
It's kind of like the Portal 2 thing of,
You are laughing. Stop laughing.
if you're not brain damaged, please say yes. Okay, what you just did there was jumping.
Yeah, say apple. Press spacebar to say apple. No, that's jumping.
Casting Stephen Merchant for that was genius.
Yeah. Especially since he's like 7'8". And they cast him as a little fucking metal apple man.
Listen, I don't want to brag or nothing, but I could probably make that shot.
Yeah.
Look at this fucking He-Man character.
Yeah, absolutely. So, he's based on, well, he's kind of based on the original version of the same character, who, looked very much like that. Had a bare midriff at all times and like a heart motif on his chest.
That is an awesome power to have, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, the teleportation.
Yeah.
She needs to keep having to recharge it though, which is the limitation.
Well, good, because the character at this age should not be too powerful. It's very interesting to have a princess character that is not a traditional princess shape.
Yeah, she's got the elephant legs.
Mind you, she's also like I'm assuming she's actually a child. because she's got those proportions going on.
She's a teenager.
She's just a bit short.
Yeah. She's a bit short and dumpy. Like, they very much lean into different body shapes for this series. There's a council of princesses. 2 of the princesses are married.
That doesn't make any sense. That's not how any democratic system works.
I know, right? And well, apparently they were separate princesses before they got married, so they retained the princess title.
Oh, that's not what I meant. I meant having a council of princesses being your government. That's fucked. That's like the fucking dwarfs in Dragon Age where they elect a king. It's like, that's not how kings work, you fucking maroons.
I know, right? So I think it's like a convocation of princesses, just as much as it is a council.
Oh my god, is that not precious?
Oh, yeah. Sleeping at her feet.
Does she not actually have her own bunk, or does she just choose to do that?
I think she does have her own bunk. I think if they zoom out again, they'll probably show an empty one somewhere.
You're not as subtle as you think you are.
Spy drone.
I love how it keeps coming up.
Are you sure you're not brain damaged here?
You clearly don't know her as well as you are pretending to.
I know, right? So, like, I know I say it a lot, but still, like, a lot of the time we're thinking the same thing. So his gimmick in this, other than having bow and arrow, is that he's the tech guy.
That's a pretty good gimmick to have. Like, that's 2 good gimmicks to have. Like, being a decent archer is, I don't know, a bit of a generic one, but a useful one.
Yeah.
But being the tech guy, there's always a tech guy. You need a tech guy.
If we look at D&D, Ranger always has another trick up the sleeve. So in this, being a tech guy is a very good second trick.
Yeah, it is. Although it's weird having tech in a universe that's clearly magic.
Yeah, but also the magic is tech.
Well, what's the quote? How does the quote go? If a technology is advanced enough, then it's indistinguishable from magic.
Yeah, I know, right?
What a fucking dumb response!
There's a soldier, so scream.
Yo, that's a solid fucking throw. That's a dumb way to catch a sword.
Yeah, it is. So if you look at the sword, it's even got circuits on it.
I'll double check next time. Man, she's a badass, isn't she?
Yeah, with the bowler.
What a not evil thing to be. So is this episode...
Yeah, I think she's the only person in the Horde that doesn't realise that the Horde is called the Evil Horde.
I don't see any circuits. But I also wasn't zoomed in, I guess.
Yeah, it's at the tip.
It's at the tip. Hello, one of the diamonds.
I know, right?
Her cape is definitely circuits.
Yeah, she's Robo Diamond.
Yo, does She-Ra have a weird pet that she rides like He-Man?
Yes. Swiftwind.
What creature is that? Grayskull! Fuck yeah! Sorry, go on.
It's an alicorn.
Yeah. Alicorn's a good pick, but like it's got nothing on a saber-toothed tiger, bro.
So it starts out as a normal horse. I think we even see it in this episode. She like converts a normal horse into super steed.
Oh, okay, fair do. Also, I see what you mean. The circuits are on the blade. I was looking at the handle.
It's not yours. I found it first.
Now, who is the villain in this scene? Because it does not look like Adora, does it?
Yeah, I think, well, it's framing it as Adora is the protagonist and these guys are being her current obstacle, even though we know as viewers that they're meant to be the good guys.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, Adora was like, I don't want to hurt you, and these two are like, shut the fuck up, we're enemies.
Yep.
From that point of view, who is the good guy here? Also, it's quite clear that what's going to happen, at least my bet is, Catra is probably going to show up in a minute and spring her.
Or at least try to.
Catra ain't staying put, let's be honest. We've been watching this show for 15 minutes, give or take, and I've already, gleaned that much in Catra's personality.
Catra's very definitely going to do a Norian rescue. Like, I've not played much of that game, but I know about that part.
Wait, sorry, what?
Where you get kidnapped by Hoshido in Fire Emblem Fates.
Oh, yeah.
And then your Norian siblings come like the goddamn cavalry to come pick you up because, as far as they're concerned, you are their sibling.
Yeah, and you tell both sides to fuck off because they're both wrong.
Yeah, and then you go around the universe collecting pieces of both sides.
Yeah.
Because that's the only correct way to play the game.
Yeah. Oh wow, she is dumb, ain't she? Sorry, she's not dumb, she's ignorant, there's a difference.
Yeah, she's very, very naive.
Oh boy, this is some Empire propaganda. Emperor Palpatine did nothing wrong.
And we shall have peace.
Man, I didn't mean to make a joke, but that speech was rather stirring, wasn't it?
Well, she's showing her chops as a princess.
Weren't you just making this point earlier?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't really give you a home so much as, training you to be a child soldier.
I've got the subtitles on and I just love that it says just Glimmer shouting.
That is a fucking, at least a challenge rating 7 encounter.
Yep.
See, this is the point.
I thought she teleported it into the sky or something.
Whoa, what? He's got fucking special arrows like he's fucking Hawkeye.
Well, yeah, his part of being a tech guy is that he makes trick arrows.
Oh, no, that's cool. I'm not criticising. I just wasn't expecting it. Yeah, this is the point in most media where if you're the good guys and you have a prisoner, usually they cut the prisoner loose and say, right, help us or don't care, just don't get in the way and don't die. That is an adorable attempt to not die. Please tell me she's going to transform. Lift it in the sky, motherfucker! The joke is that is literally how He-Man transforms, and I assume She-Ra as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
There we go.
And then she gets the flashback of how she came to be.
She literally...
Came through a portal.
Oh. So, wait, if we've got a separate He-Man thing coming, does that mean He-Man exists on another planet in this universe and that's how they're going to be connected? Or is it just the other side of the planet or some shit?
So this planet is like its own pocket dimension.
Okay.
Hidden from the rest of the universe. And that's a plot point later in later seasons. So it's possible that... Yep.
Man, I just want to say, having For the Honor of Grayskull be the activation phrase as opposed to the power, that's a great fucking parallel, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. Do you want to actually go into part 2? Because it is actually a 2-parter, or shall we...
Well, I was going to actually spring it on you, Rick. I was going to say... I actually knew this was a 2-parter going in. And I was going to spring it on you and go, hey, do you want to just watch the second episode? The problem is we do have to. We're just going to sit through this extra 50 seconds of credits because I don't want to fuck up timings.
Okay, so mine automatically started playing the next episode. So what I'm gonna
just reset it to 0-0 and we'll sort that out in a second. But yeah, fucking strong start. What a way to finish it.
Yeah, a very good finisher of finishing with For the Honor of Grayskull. Like, this couldn't exist as a non-Netflix series unless it was literally just an opening two-parter as a good old kind of like an animated movie special.
I get you. Or you can do what fucking ReZero did and have an hour-long first episode and yet still have it be a two-parter with an extra half an hour tacked on.
Yeah.
What fucking idiot greenlit that?
I know, right?
Who the fuck thought that was a good idea? Fuck you. By the way, the timer's gone, by the way. Go on, Rick.
Yeah, I didn't even know that ReZero was getting remastered, so when I saw a new ReZero thing, I started watching it, never having seen the original, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. I didn't know that that Emilia wasn't called Emilia, and yeah, it turns out that she starts by not calling herself Emilia, for some fucking reason.
Because that way they get to have the misunderstanding when they reset the first time.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only fucking reason. It really sucks when it's just like, what is the reason for this character doing this thing? So we can have this cool moment. Oh, okay then. I guess. Dicks.
And therefore, we're going to go straight into episode 2 now.
Yeah, we are. Do you want to do a countdown to helpfully realign our watches?
Yeah, so 3, 2, 1, and go.
Man, the sword... Oh, dude, it's such a fucking muscle reflex response. My hand went to click on skip intro.
Yeah, for me, it's gone straight back into the Netflix starter of, back into DreamWorks.
Yeah. Oh, cool, we get the actual intro this time, because I don't think we had this in the first ep.
Yeah, I think if you go straight from episode 1 into episode 2, you don't get this intro.
Oh, absolutely not. Because I also had to rewind it. Who the fuck? Oh, okay, I'm guessing these are the other princesses, yeah?
Yep, hence why it's called the Princesses of Power.
What was that muscle woman with lobster claws?
She shows up in episode 3 or so.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. She's really nice.
Oh. Yo, look at this beautiful Aryan princess.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure the showrunner said, yeah, the original She-Ra caused an awakening in me that inside every woman is an even bigger, more Amazonian, better woman.
I mean, I don't think I've ever officially said this, but I'm a fucking weirdo when it comes to my attraction to people. Because when it comes to women, I really like traditional masculine traits in them. I have to say traditional masculine, otherwise I'm sexist. But you get what I mean, right?
Yeah, you like the big and the bulky.
Well, not even just the physical traits, but even the
tomboy aura.
It's not even. I'm struggling to find the word, but like
the psychology.
I guess that's the closest I'll have to do for now. Give her back the sword so we can stop the giant insect from eating us.
Yep.
In case you can't put 2 and 2 together.
It stopped attacking when the sword was in the right place.
Yeah.
Do it again.
I love it. Oh, it's great. At least one person has the common sense to put 2 and 2 together. I get it. The princess girl is blinded by her dislike of the evil forces, but like, it makes sense. That's a character trait that many characters have. It's at the very least logical one.
At least Glimmer actually has the sense to pick up the sword as well.
Yeah.
just face slams straight into the door.
Melon.
You can read that? You can't?
Like, as far as passwords go, that's a pretty fucking weak one.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Eternia isn't a thing in this world. I think this world is Etheria.
It's still a weak password.
Well, a planet that doesn't exist in the world that you're on is actually a pretty good password.
Rick, it's a single word. There's no upper or lowercase differences. There's no symbols or numbers. It's shit.
Plus, as she says, it's a language that's no one's spoken in 1,000 years.
Fight, fight, fight. This is a really awkward thing because we've only had Adora's experiences so far. So from the perspective of someone watching the show for the first time, it's like, well, she's being unreasonable. The princess, I forget her name. I'm sorry. Glimmer. There we go. It's such a silly name. But
I think they even call her Princess Sparkles at some point.
Fair do. Like, Glimmer's point of view is perfectly justified. Bo is being unreasonably diplomatic when you think about it. That's a good thing. You need a character like that, but it's like... That's actually adorable. Well, it shimmered a little. It's like when Steve Rogers picks up the hammer, but only for a little bit in a... fuck, what's that film called?
In Age of Ultron.
That's the one. Oh, they did.
Yeah, there's a lot of... First One's tech is the kind of thing that's like... Whenever we need to bullshit something in, it's going to be First One's tech.
That's fine, it's a kid's show. I mean, you know, just because adults appreciate it doesn't make it not a kid's show.
At least they introduce it really early on as well.
Yeah, true. Bo is being perfectly reasonable, but it's also very obvious that Glimmer is feeling a bit inferior right now.
Yeah. He's saying, don't use all your damn spell slots.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you're so right! Except they can't just rest anywhere for their recharge.
She's not a warlock. Actually, I think she is a warlock.
Is she? What has she given to her patron?
I think she gets her powers from a blob.
Okay. I mean, come on, man, that is some Crystal Gem shit right there.
Yep. The scary one in the cape.
You think that was scary, bro?
Only because they're on opposite sides.
I suppose, but, like, in that moment, they had the common threat. Like, I said it during the first episode, but, like, She-Ra and He-Man are such dumb names that they're kind of cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, Adora's got a fucking... I keep wanting to say Andorra, but that's a country. It's obvious that Adora's got to ask, right?
Almost certainly.
Oh, you done fucked up, Glimmer.
Yeah, she did.
Thankfully, this place is falling apart.
It's possible that some of this is not actually happening as well, because they use this area in the future and it's like the ultimate hologram zone.
Okay. That makes sense that she'll think she's scary because it's kind of like, it's not possessing her, but it is changing her body to a certain extent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which would be quite, you know... I don't know about you, but if I suddenly grew muscle mass and my hair grew out even longer, I'd be fucking freaked out.
Yeah, if I turned Super Saiyan 3, it'd be kind of cool, but by the same time, it's a bit weird.
How the fuck is she knocked out enough not to be able to do anything, but still able to keep grasp of the sword?
I think she's got rigor mortis or whatever, I don't know.
Hey, who cares about semantics? You're not dead. No fucking shit. So, obviously I know Catra and Adora end up being a thing. Spoiler, by the way, if you've not watched this series. Am I right in assuming that Glimmer and Bow are probably going to end up being a thing?
Yeah, right at the end. It doesn't come out of nowhere, but it kind of comes out of nowhere.
Well, it doesn't come out of nowhere, because even now I'm like, these two have got something going on that they're not talking about.
Yeah, like, he's her only friend.
Okay.
So that's what they've got going on. And then right at the end, they spend like the entire final season fighting, and then at the end, they get back together.
Aww.
And they get back together with an upgrade.
Oh, they have a little baby, and it has both their powers.
Not quite. But yeah, when they get back together, they have the relationship upgrade of there is now a relationship rather than just them being each other's only friend.
Oh, yeah. I do like how there was a second where Glimmer felt a bit sorry, but then zoomed in on her fucking logo and was like, nah, fuck this bitch. That's not sinister. Did she not inform you of it in the first place?
Yep.
So then why would she lie by keeping further information from you? Like, we know she is lying because she knows she went to the Whispering Wood, but, you know...
Yeah, it's because she's trying to protect Adora, at least. To a degree, at least.
That is a scary power.
She's got a lot of scary powers.
You know, at that point, like, you make weird decisions when under stress, but at that point, my instinct wouldn't be I'm now going to follow this woman's order. My instinct would be, alright, I'm going to find Adora and then do whatever the fuck she does.
To a degree, but also, like... It's the worst disguise ever.
It's not great. But all they need to do to disguise her is to not have that fucking logo on her.
Yeah.
But my point was going to be that it's also coming from the point of view of someone who understands how evil minds work, because my brain instantly tells me even if you're successful, you're still going to get punished.
Yeah.
That's adorable, but also incredibly sad.
Yep.
I don't feel like Bo is taking this as serious as he should. But at the same time, this is probably going to kickstart her goody two-shoeness, right?
Yep.
My god, is that not an adorable visual that just happened?
Well, with her eyes going massive and sparkly,
Yeah.
And now she's run out of food. Because all she's had until now is basically ration bars.
Yeah, but at the same time, those ration... Again, it's what I was saying earlier, where she's been trained her whole life to be a soldier, which means your diet and your training has been strictly fucking monitored to make you a perfect killing machine, I assume. Oh, Jesus Christ, I can't, my heart...
Sparkly eyes again. Sparkly eyes again. Yeah.
Oh, it's even working on Glimmer and she hates her.
No birthdays.
Oh, what has she seen? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is like every teenage girl ever, right?
Yep.
Sorry, I don't mean to stereotype, but You know. You know what? I was expecting her to say it as well.
Yeah. I know you like her too.
Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
They're tracking my my USB stick on my chest.
Man, Jesus, that was... I'll be honest, the instant switch is stark.
Yeah, from one colour palette to another.
I get it, you gotta do some shock treatment here, but, you know... It's very evident that she is ignorant of this sort of thing. That's a cool design for an outfit, though.
Yeah. And that's the undercoat. Like, normally she's got the jacket on.
Mm-hmm. Fucking, they got tanks!
Yeah, they do.
Look at this Tiananmen Square bullshit. I wasn't expecting Catra to be in a tank.
She's purring again.
She is, yeah, I heard it that time.
Yeah, when I watched this for the first time, obviously I watched episode 1 and 2 together.
Oh, absolutely.
However, it was a while before I watched anything after this.
Okay.
But once I did, I essentially went straight for a marathon.
Fucking hell. I just remember in that line in Skyrim where there's the old mage for the Dark Brotherhood. Just after Cicero freaks out and attacks a bunch of people, he straight up says something along the lines of, "He was freaking out and stabbing left and right. It would have been funny if he wasn't trying to kill us." Man, I've got a weird amount of respect for Catra for having this sort of viewpoint. Like, it's not a great one, but it's kind of...
Doesn't matter what someone else does to us when we've got each other, yeah.
I actually feel my heart growing 3 sizes.
She's got a point.
But, I mean... I don't know, it's... Yeah, I'm sorry, that was never going to fly, was it? Mind you, Adora also is not aware that if Catra does not succeed, that she's going to get fucked up.
Yeah.
And Catra is very much aware of that fact.
Catra's been aware of it for a long time. Catra's been on the receiving end of Adora's punishment since she was a kid.
I mean, I wasn't aware of that particular fact. Alright, listen, I get what you're saying, but like his quiver has not run out of arrow, lost a single arrow yet. I get that's an animation flaw, but... That is adorable.
Yeah, look at the cheeks.
In some shots, his quiver has 4 arrows. In some shots, there's only 2. And now there's only 3.
There's 4. One of them's behind the other ones.
Alright, yeah. Man, that horse would actually be freaking out if this was real.
Yeah, it totally would.
Oh, that's adorable that she didn't mean to be that horrible. And then she just did it again, you fucking arsehole!
I'm sorry, it was a reflex.
Oh.
Oh, now she knows.
For real though, like the smart play would be for Catra to join Adora, but she has no way of knowing that.
Yeah, and there's also Pride at this point.
He had 4 arrows, now he has none. What the fuck? Inconsistent. I know I shouldn't be bothered, but I am.
Yeah, the number of times we pointed out that he has 4 just before now.
Also, I don't know if people listening to the podcast know this, but I know how to do archery. If you run out of arrows, you're fucked.
Yep, yep.
And we have character growth. Man, desperation makes people do weird things, bro.
And even if not, they're probably fucked anyway, so you might as well hasten your demise.
That's a bit pessimistic, but fair. I get it's for dramatic effect, but hurry up!
And now we get the stock animation that gets used for the rest of the series.
That's fine, I used to watch Sailor Moon. That was fucking instant. Yeah, we got some Dragon Age Grey Warden music playing.
Yeah, we do. I never noticed that before, actually. I was more interested in the 80s hair metal riff for...
I get you, man.
Spider tank, spider tank. It's been an honor serving beside you, horsey.
Ah, my eyes! Man, this is some fucking Superman shit. I don't know. That is the most useful power ever. I don't know why I said it like a robot, but...
Stab the floor and fuck everything up.
That's some fucking crowd control right there.
Now, the thing that always bugs me is that when you chop the end off a barrel, it doesn't stop the gun from firing. It just stops it being accurate.
Yeah, but it was also pointed to the sky, so...
Yeah. Just one-hands it.
I don't care that... But it applies to He-Man as well, but this is She-Ra, so let's talk about She-Ra. I don't care that She-Ra is bullshit broken OP. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And it's the point.
Yeah, she's meant to be bullshit OP.
That's the thing as well. Technically, that's her first encounter with people who weren't holograms.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm not tearing up, but I'm feeling emotions right now. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's fucking
Catra's
awful.
the only one. Catra's the only one in the Horde that knows that it's her.
Oh.
Because as far as the Horde knows, the princesses now have a super princess.
I just want to skip to the end of the show and see them back together again. That's how... Well, that's funny. That's lighting the mood.
Yeah, he dubs it the best friend squad, so now from now on, whenever they refer to the heroes, it's now the best friend squad.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the end of the episode. A bit of a fucking downer, if I'm honest.
A little bit, yeah, but it really does set the scene for the show. I think the next episode is the one where you get introduced to the lobster claws lady, and where the horse gets converted into being her super steed. But you didn't get a voice until like season 2, so
I didn't know the fucking thing spoke, bro.
Yeah, he does. His normal entrance is bursting through a wall and saying, "Does somebody say Swift Wind?"
That's so corny, but I love it.
In case you couldn't tell, Swift Wind is his name.
It's one of those things where I'm amazed this show is an actual show, because me and you, Rick, we were brought up more or less in the 90s. You a little bit more of the 90s than me because, you know, you were born in, the 80s?
Yeah, I was born exactly in the middle of the 80s.
There you go, and I was born at the beginning of the 90s. Something we can both share is we both probably watched He-Man.
Yeah, we've all seen a lot of toxic masculinity in animated form.
And here's the thing with He-Man is, He-Man actually fucking sucked because it wasn't a real show. It was just a 30-minute long advertisement, buy our toys, you little fucks.
Yep.
And I'm going to assume that She-Ra was probably the same thing, but for little girls.
Pretty much, as far as I'm aware. So they definitely had the toys for the little girls, and I think they were made the same way. So they were like little action figures of those characters and of those toys, rather than dolls.
Oh yeah, absolutely, as it fucking should be, because She-Ra is not a doll. That's a fucking action figure, bro.
It would make a pretty good quality doll, though.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe, but I wouldn't have played with dolls as a child anyway, because I'm convinced my dad would have probably thought it would make me gay, because that's the kind of bloke my dad sort of was.
But then again, Action Man's just basically a doll. Like, he's got the clothes and everything.
But that's the thing, because I did have fucking Action Men, and the quality was shit.
Yeah.
Dolls aren't cool. They're fucking shit, and they break easy.
It's just a Ken doll with army clothes.
You could take a fucking action figure and throw that shit at the wall 700 times and it would not have a scratch on it.
Well, it'd get chipped.
Well, yeah, but who gives a fuck? That makes him more manly, machismo. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if an action figure is missing a nose, you know it's been through some shit.
Yeah, I did my voice out doing the Macho Man. Take that out of context.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're going to slap into some Slim Jims and we're going to take on He-Man with our buddy, the Hulkster. Oh, yeah. And that's the limit of my impression abilities. It's also the voice I put on that one time for that promo in D&D, and I regretted that.
Yeah. I remember that when you were being the hype man for the NPC.
Yeah, I would love to do a gimmick like that for a D&D character, but the problem with that type of character is you have to be 100% every single time. And when I play D&D, once we go past the 2-hour mark, my motivation starts to fall.
I feel you.
It's not a problem during combat, but if it's a roleplay heavy session and your character needs 100% commitment to do properly and to do justice, that's not something I can do. Sorry, there's a long pause there which is going to get cut out, but I've got to mention it because I had to take a deep breath because that's how fucked I am from doing the Macho Man voice. Oh, jeez. That's the problem with doing any wrestler character. You've got to be 100% with your vocals, and it sucks.
So, a little bit of behind the scenes for this. We're probably going to do more of these episodes, but we're probably going to cherry pick them a lot like we did for Steven Universe.
I want to make an amendment to that's the English skills I bring to the podcast. What I meant to say was, addendum to that, probably actually not, because the only reason I've not watched any of She-Ra is because I knew we were going to do the first episode for the podcast. And now I'm probably going to binge the fuck out of it. Because I know the show is good. It's bad enough that I've had to hold back from Steven fucking Universe, because I know we're doing that more.
So, should we do season finales then?
I'll tell you what, if we get comments on this episode saying we want more She-Ra, I will force myself to stop occasionally so we can do episodes for the podcast.
I'm assuming that doesn't count me posting the comment.
Oh yeah, no, you can fuck off. Again, like, I've put this off for so long. I really wanted to watch the show because I know it's good. I just know it is. Everybody rants and raves about it. You showed me the Catadora. Ever since the Catadora fucking compilation you sent me, I've been chomping at the bit to watch the damn thing. There's so few good romance stories in animation.
Especially same-sex.
Oh, non-existent.
Until very recently, it's been kind of a taboo to show in, especially kids' shows.
It's because of the old-fashioned fucking mentality, and I will always condemn it, because it's so fucking stupid. If a kid sees same-sex relationships, that increases their chances of being gay, which has absolutely fuck all to do with it, and yet there's still people who cling to that belief because they're fucking idiots? I don't know.
Yeah, so the only thing that it has any relevance to is the kid realizing that it's okay to to admit that they are already gay. So someone who is already gay doesn't push down the fact that they are gay and just accept a heterosexual relationship out of shame and obligation.
It's always sad, and it still happens today. And like, I don't want to get on a soapbox and preach, but the story is far too fucking common, ain't it?
Yeah.
Let's move on to happier topics, shall we?
Yeah. Let's talk about something fun.
Man, going back to that Katadora compilation, I saw someone post two screenshots of scenes that I remember came up in the compilation, because I believe it was when they were still on opposite sides, where even though they were on opposite sides, they were on like a spaceship together or some shit. I don't know. Doesn't matter. The important thing is, Katara promised not to get in the way, and as she's saying it, she's lying across Adora's lap, and Adora looks all angry, but not that angry, because she's totally digging it, but also like, fuck, I need to concentrate.
I think this is just after they've rescued Katara from the thing in season 5. So this is like just after Catra's essentially had her heel face turn.
Oh, dude, I can't. I was so glad when I looked at the episode list. Sorry, not the episode list, but it. You know, when you click on the seasons, it tells you how many episodes each season has.
Mm-hmm.
There's at least 2 seasons that only have 6 episodes, which is that's bingeable.
Yeah. So season 2 and 3, I've got 6 and 7 episodes, and they were meant to be one season, but it was split into 2. So there's kind of a soft finale for season 2. Which doesn't feel like a finale, and then you realise, oh yeah, that's why. It's because it wasn't meant to be one.
Ah, fair do.
So it was essentially meant to be 4 seasons, but they had to split it up into 5 for I don't know what reason.
Probably because Netflix wanted 5 seasons.
Yeah.
And hell, I'd rather they do that than fucking come up with an entire season's worth of filler.
True enough.
Like, I love The Mandalorian as much as the next guy, but fuck was season 2 filled with filler. It was good filler, but filler all the same.
Like, even season 1 had a lot of filler. Like, a lot of those episodes just existed to exist.
Except with season 1, you get away with it because they're still setting up the Mandalorian character. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep calling him the Mandalorian. I know he's been named at this point. Din something?
Din Djarin, yeah.
Yeah. Man, I'm looking forward to Book of Boba.
Absolutely. It also made me even more hype when I realised that, well, not even when I realised, when they revealed that it was separate to Mando 3.
Yes!
I thought it was going to replace Mando 3. Like, I thought that was, like, literally going to be the end of the Mando story, and then it would just shift to Boba instead, and that would be what Mando 3 was, because he's now revealed that he has the lineage to be a true Mando.
Man, was there not a cooler way of him proving himself to Bo-Katan than saying, I don't give a shit what you think? And then having a fucking scrap with Sasha Banks. I don't know her character's name. But yeah, fucking hell, man. There's nothing more Mandalorian than you've insulted my honour, so now I'm just going to have a fucking fist fight. What do you reckon with season 3 of Mando? It's probably going to focus on him joining up with Bo-Katan and trying to do the Mandalore crap, right?
Almost certainly. So he's now the wielder of the Darksaber. So he's probably gonna have to lose a duel to Gideon, so Bo-Katan can have a duel with him.
Nah, Gideon's not going to be a thing anymore. I think Gideon's done.
I don't think so. I think Gideon's going to come back with Force powers.
Okay. Alright. I'm willing to put cash money down that definitely won't happen.
I'm pretty sure it will happen because they've been hinting at being able to infuse someone with Force powers. They're trying to turn Gideon into Vader too.
Alright, you know what? Do you want to do this right now on the podcast? 5 quid says that don't happen in season 3.
Here's the thing. I think they're going to be using all of season 3 to set it up. It's going to be the thing in season 4. So I'll agree to maybe not in season 3, but it's going to happen.
You know what? I'll increase it to... I'm willing to put cash money down. 5 quid says that it doesn't happen in The Mandalorian, the TV show.
Ooh. Okay. Because I can see them doing a feature-length something that caps it off. A bit like Rogue One.
I don't think that Gideon will ever get Force powers, but it's not such an out there thing to think will happen at some point because Star Wars do like to clutch at straws like that. But I'm willing to bet that it won't happen in The Mandalorian.
Dude, if you want to look at the epitome of Star Wars bullshit, look up either Lord Nyax or the Waru.
I really don't want to. I'm not as big of a Star Wars nerd as you. We know this. I don't want to go down that hole, Rick.
Lord Nyax is what would happen if Matt made a Star Wars character.
Oh, fuck off then.
He has 6 lightsabers.
Why?
2 on his wrist, 2 on his elbows, 2 on his knees.
That's fucking stupid. Like, Grievous was bad enough, and even Pong Krell was kind of dumb. But at least they used their fucking hands.
Yeah. This guy doesn't... Like, he's even got his hands free for using the Force.
No. You see, if you're gonna do that shit, I want like a proper anime character where he dual wields and he has 4 lightsabers floating around with him because he's that good with the Force.
Like Kreia.
I'm not personally familiar, but that's kind of possible. It's still fucking dumb, but it makes sense.
Kreia's boss battle is... she's only got one hand, and yet she still triple wields, just by having 3 lightsabers and controlling them all with the Force.
That's cool. I can get behind that. Having them fucking strapped to you like a fucking... Oh, I was going to use a word that's not cool anymore. A dumbass. If you can't guess what the word was, then be thankful. But I think I've given enough hints to tell you that it was... I know for a fact people aren't cool with that word, so we'll stop, shall we?
Isn't it funny that strap-on is an anagram of no parts?
Alright, I guess. Too long didn't read Star Wars and any sci-fi/fantasy franchise, if given enough time, becomes stupid.
Yeah. 100%.
Lord of the Rings is probably the only thing that gets away with it.
Well, because they try and keep a lid on the fanfiction.
Fanfiction's A-OK. They don't have an issue with that, which is kind of odd. But official fanfiction...
Like the grey fiction. What would you even call it? Like, the Silmarillion is essentially notes, but expanded into a book. It's not really fiction. It's kind of...
Well, it's not fan fiction. It's a continuation of the story. And the reason why it gets a pass is because the whole reason The Hobbit exists in book form is it was never written down. It was a bedtime story that J.R.R. Tolkien would tell Christopher Tolkien as he was falling asleep. However, because it was an oral story, every so often J.R.R. Tolkien would say something different. Like, oh, his scarf was red and his cloak was green. And Christopher Tolkien would go, oh, last time you said his scarf was blue and his cloak was red. The anecdote goes, J.R.R. Tolkien muttered, damn the boy, and then started writing shit down. That's the story I've heard. Whether it's true, I don't know, but I choose to believe it because it's kind of adorable.
It is kind of adorable. Damn the boy.
But, you know, it's an easy thing to forget that The Hobbit was just a bedtime story for Christopher Tolkien.
Similarly, Watership Down was a story that the writer told to, I think, his kids in a car.
Yeah. And the writer straight up said that his goal was to terrify them.
Yeah.
Which is why when they did the film and they got a bunch of complaints from parents saying this scared our kids, the writer was just like, good. That show was terrifying as a child. That fucking shot of that big fucking rabbit all bloody terrified me as a child.
I remember renting it on a VHS from the library because that's how old I am, and we kept having to rewind it to the part where the seagull just screams piss off at the rabbits.
Yeah.
We didn't get a lot of things that had swearing when we were kids, so that was really funny to us when we were 9.
Well, I remember listening to a podcast which, it was like the Super Best Friend cast back when that fucking existed, of someone revealing that their first exposure to hentai was they went to Blockbuster and they just picked one off the shelf because it was in with animation.
Oh!
Because they didn't fucking know. They were just like, well, it's okay for children, it's a cartoon. No! I believe it was the one with that fucking horse dude that goes, your resistance only makes my penis harder.
Oh boy.
Oh, imagine that being your first exposure. Oh, Jesus. Alrighty, sorry to cut you off, Rick, but we've been going for nearly 2 hours. That will no doubt get cut down to a certain extent, but...
Yep, absolutely. So, thank you, as always, for listening to us and our ramblings. And if you've made it this far, then you are our favourite person.
Rick took my line, that fucker.
Dude, I was the one that came up with it.
Yeah, I know. I've been saying it for the last dozen podcasts. Fuck you. But yeah, all I can say really is I hope you enjoyed the extra long fucking episode, guys. And hopefully we'll see you... Oh, wait, actually, quick announcement. The next 2 episodes are going to be pre-recorded because we've got some real-life issues that need to get dealt with.
Yeah, there's some behind-the-scenes things happening that are so behind-the-scenes they're going to be in different areas.
Yeah, you'll actually learn what those behind-the-scenes things are when the episodes get released, because I believe we touched on them. But other than that, join us next week, guys, with our special episodes, because they're pre-recorded so we can have a bit more fun with them. Although, then one of those pre-recorded episodes is meant to be really long, but it's probably going to be shorter than this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next time.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.